audio down. I think you can do that. I have not... Okay, you can't. I have not played Persona 5 in a while. And I got the idea earlier of... So I have a... I bet the only people that are gonna be watching this maybe would just be the people in said server. But a while ago I made a P6 like RP server used there's in there. And I'm like, well that'd be even cooler because there's like 3 people in there that just gave their party members just canon personas. I was going to do this on Reload because I'm playing a lot of P3R and it's been really fun, and then I realized that there's 2 party members that have Cyan nuke skills and I'm like, oh, I can't do that. So I got the bright idea of just being like, well, I haven't played Persona 5 in a while. I hate that this game, like, you boot up a new game and it wants to show you all the DLC immediately, and it's like, I am only planning on using, like, one of those. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm used to the English voices. It's weird because I think I've tried playing the game with Japanese voices before, but it didn't. It just felt weird to me. I feel like for people who are watching this video that aren't like involved with the RP server, I kind of want to give a rundown. And part of me was thinking, oh, what if I put like the link in the description or something afterwards? But I don't know, I might get into that when there's like downtime, like just during like wandering around. And I feel like when you get a I'm just gonna let the cutscenes play out. I have no idea if people can actually, I have no idea if my voice is audible super well. I should turn down the, I hate that you can't like turn down the game volume from in-game, so I'm just gonna turn it down on, fuck. I'm just gonna turn it down on, that didn't help. It's like to go turn down the TV, but then I have headphones on. And I don't know if me turning on headphones affects the stream audio, because I've had a similar thing when I've played rhythm games, because I have past Project Diva streams, and I also have no idea if audio is going to pick up at all. Because I've had that problem in the past as well. But my game plan is going to be I kind of have to limit this to just the protagonist. I might try and base like everyone else in my team around people on the server, maybe? But this is mainly going to be limited to just like the protagonist personas, obviously. I think it'd be really cool if in a future game if you could like have skill cards on your teammates, but I also feel like that could be broken. But tutorial stuff is tutorial. I don't think it's gonna be super interesting.
Everyone else, take this.
I forget you could rush battles. I should have just done that. And it sucks. I feel a similar problem with this as I do as I do with my plan, where at some point I want to do like a playthrough of like a recorded playthrough of P3R. But I feel like it's going to run the same problem of because I don't have any fancy editing software, and like I'm just recording this through like as I go to record a video, like I can't actually just record from PlayStation. I have to use like the stream thing. Oh.
Huh? What?
So I feel like a lot of this is gonna be me skipping through, because I feel like the whole meat of this is just gonna be me seeing how well I can portray characters in the RP server in this game. So like, obviously I'm gonna name, you know, protagonist after the protagonist in the server, which is my character. And it's kind of funny. So, when I first had the idea for the server, I don't think I asked people in there, like, before. But I initially didn't want to do, like, a wildcard character, because I didn't know how I would handle, like, getting personas, and like leveling stuff, and then the other people in there were like, "You're the server owner. You should be the protagonist." So that's like where we're at now. And it's funny because I know. Because initially I was like, oh, I'll just have my character just be like a generic party member, you know, have someone else be the protagonist. So I just, yeah, I'm like, oh, let's give this character the Arcana, and then everyone was like, well, having a wildcard is kind of a staple of the modern games, and given that this is just continuing on from like stuff in 5, like same skills and everything. It's like, well, it'd be kind of silly to not have a character be protagonist. So eventually I was like, alright, I'll just do that. And I gotta say, it's honestly kind of funny, and I don't want to say annoying, but it's kind of funny having people like in character being like, alright leader, what should we do? And just have my character stand there and be like, I'm not prepared for this, I don't know.
You're there.
That's just how it is. After that commotion, the bottom
It sucks to skip that cutscene because I like it. But I guess
Drug was too strong.
I guess given that we're coming up on like where
Wake 'em
you
up.
name your character, I could get into a little bit, because I think what I want to do is I guess to also just give background to like the server and characters. Every time we get a persona and I reference someone, I'll like, I guess, give little tidbits. So like naming ourselves, I'll just be like, oh, stuff about my first character, blah blah blah.
What about the camera?
I have no idea when I'll get around to
So you're not that dumb.
actually getting a persona that could represent her, because I don't know when you unlock bless, like I don't know when you get a persona that uses bless skills. But skill cards exist, so I could just do that.
Blackmail, defamation, possession of weapons.
I wish you could speed these up without actually skipping them.
Too, yeah? Talk about the works. To think that all those crimes were led by a punk like
Just skip through
you
our
seem to be enjoying every second of it. Huh?
Oh, I forget you have to choose your difficulty first. I kind of want to do normal and then like switch it to hard further we get in.
You should
Cause
know your place.
not to brag, but overall I've played Persona 5 like 3 times. I think. Cause I've played the original.
It's a confession under your name.
I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure I played the original twice and then I beat Royal. And it's kind of embarrassing, but I had to switch it to safe during like the third semester stuff because I was stuck on. I'm pretty sure I was just stuck on the almost last boss of that, which puts into perspective how far along I was. And eventually I caved in after like reloading saves and was like, this is the final boss. I can deal with it. So, how do I switch? Okay. I forgot how you switch. So, protagonist moment! So, how do I, oh, can I give a name? So, the protagonist of the server, Chizuru Higashi, first character I made, she's technically, before we had the idea of having her be the protagonist, I made her Death Arcana, but then it's like, oh, let's have this character be the protagonist. So I was like, alright, awesome. Her thing is basically, her parents have moved around a lot because they were teachers, eventually settled in a small town, like, I guess not really settled, but like, as well as they could. They're in a small town as substitutes. Because she wasn't initially supposed to be the protagonist, it's not the classic, like, oh, you have to move into a town for a year. It's like, oh, she's been living in this town for, like, 2 or 3 years prior, and this is her last year, and it's like, oh, she's a senior, she's, like, in her last year of high school, and her parents were like, we're gonna stop homeschooling you, you have to actually go out and get friends, and then that kind of, like, kicks off the plot. So, protagonist! And then I had...
Excuse me, but this area is off.
I had the idea of... And this is something I'm gonna get into more, but I had the idea of, oh, because I like P3, I'm gonna have this character, like, it's like, raised on Port Island, you spent her childhood there, and then her parents were like, hey, you know, we're getting...
I need you.
like,
kind of, prosecutor's office.
I want to frame it as like, oh, they're getting sick of living there.
Prosecutor's office? What business do you
and it's like,
here?
oh, because we're teachers, we can
just let me through. It's urgent. There's something I
it's
need
like,
to
oh,
confirm
you're
with the suspect.
we have sub like outside the city, and so they move around a lot.
Nijima-san, I believe this
and
case is no longer in your
I was initially thinking of the idea of, wouldn't it be funny if they were in every setting, like every modern game setting? But then I'm like, I feel like that'd be way too fan servicey, so I dialed it down to just character. I don't want to say lived through the events of P3 because she wouldn't remember it. But I had the funny idea of like, at some point, her parents were like, oh, we were gonna go to Tokyo, like, during the events of 3 to teach.
Prosecutor signed Nijima.
But then it was like, oh, we heard about the...
Hurry and get it open.
Cause I think it would be, I thought it would have been a cool idea if it was like, oh, we're gonna move to Tokyo and teach at some of the schools there. Because I made it so that I think it was like her mom's an elementary school teacher and then her dad is a middle school teacher, so she wouldn't really conflict, like her parents wouldn't really conflict with like story overall with being teachers. And I had the idea of, what if I just don't go to Tokyo just because of the events of this game?
Prosecutor,
And it's
I
like,
forgot to mention something important.
as they're about to move there, the Kamoshida arc hits,
Your time will be
and
cut short. We can't permit you to talk
her
with them
parents
for
are like, oh, we can't have our kid, like, being in a city
long.
where,
It's for your
you
own
know,
sake. His
stuff not arc.
methods are unknown after.
So they probably
understand.
move back to just their hometown or go somewhere else. And I had the idea
didn't
of
expect it
like,
of you.
oh, what if their family goes to Inaba for a year? But then I'm like, I feel like that would conflict with the
You'll be answering
plot of
my
this, with the
questions
character, with Chooser not liking being the small town setting that this RP is in.
Can you hear me? Almost anything can happen. That's why I need you to answer me. What was your... Why did you cause... I didn't think... It's because I couldn't figure...
And I feel like unintentionally or not, it's kind of funny that I'm
True.
doing this
There's
game
no-
because it's like,
It seems
protagonist of this
incoherent.
game starts off with curse skills.
When
Protagonist of
did
the
you find
RP,
out about
the
that
RP server starts off with bless skills.
How is now? Start from the...
So I had it be that she is, and I only have ideas skill-wise for initial persona.
Held captive. A prisoner of fate to a future that has been sealed. This is truly, but if my voice is
Because the personas in this,
escape and save the
overall, and I put a thing in like the server rules that's like, you don't necessarily need to follow this because this isn't an actual game, so I don't want people to feel like they're locked into like a specific theme for personas, but overall it is fairy tale and myth themed.
your world's future.
So protagonist has Briar Rose, obviously themed to Sleeping Beauty, and she has bless skills. Oh shit, I would have to make a new save for this. Luckily none of these are really spoilery. But so she's got like bless and like healing and buff focused. And I had the idea of, oh, because it's Sleeping Beauty themed character, give it Tormina, because that's the sleep skill. I should probably write somewhere ideas for what everyone's kit, or what everyone's like, I guess kit, what everyone's skill set should be, or could be. Because like some people wrote like full ideas for starting stats, and some people just wrote like elements. So I think it would be neat to actually look into
Are you for real? A mental
what characters' personalities are like,
to a person though? That's gotta be a joke.
and you know, use that to base around like if a character is attack focused, if a character is like healing focused. And there's already a character in the server where, because we were talking about in a reference to DLC costumes, what every character would whoever character would represent, and everyone unanimously agreed that one specific character would just be Ryuji, which is kind of funny. So I'd probably take that character and have them be like a similar thing where it's like focus on physical, because that's something I didn't even think about when I was writing down what everyone's element they use is, and there's no one that's like mainly physical.
Oh, well,
It's always fun like playing through these games. I'm like, because of the amount of times I've started this game, it's weird because like I know where to go.
A public the citizens can't live.
Oh. What could be?
And... Oh. They did say that was today.
I had another thought of
Well, we'll be going now.
what social links I should prioritize in this,
This place
because I
is in
got the
back alley,
idea
so there's no
of
worries of a car crashing in here.
A what now?
using the cast of the server. Oh, we do a lot. Okay, so I kind of forgot who everyone's Arcana is. And there's some characters I didn't even write it in there. I need to fix that. I forgot that we got a character who is... Oh, we do a hermit character. Okay. Because there was a time when we were missing a whole bunch of stuff, but we do have
of those rampage
like
accidents, you know. I just hope that none happen around here.
None of my concern.
I believe we have
Well, see you next
at least
time.
mostly every Arcana accounted for. I thought we didn't have like a lovers for the longest time, but we do.
So,
I'm
you're the
just
guy.
looking through. Wait, huh? That person? No, that person's still here. That's weird. Oh, that's me. I'm totally Chizuru Higashi from the Persona 6 RP server. Sorry if I'm zoning out a
You'll be
little.
in my custody over the next year.
One, I'm not used to streaming, and two, yeah, that person's still here. That's weird.
I was wondering what kind of unruly kid would show up. But you're the one, huh?
Oh, we have two characters that are Hermit Arcana in this server. That's interesting. I didn't even realize that.
A customer of mine and your parents know each other, and... Well,
I think
glad
I
that
did
that's
say, like, we would have
Follow me.
repeats. Because this is, you know, we're on top of each other. Because this is like a open server.
This... At least get... You look like you want to say something.
It's cluttered.
It's on you to clean up the rest. I'll be leaving after I lock up each day.
I should list what personas we don't, or what arcanas we don't have on here
You'll be alone at night, but don't
somewhere.
delete this.
Because like,
I'll throw you out if you
looking at
cause
it
any
now, the server does not have
Now,
a sun character. Oh, wait, no, we do. Hold on. Do we have all of them accounted for?
I got the gist of your situation.
With like
You protected some woman from
the normal,
that's what you get for sticking your nose in. And now that you've
I
got
guess
a
quote unquote normal
court order you to
arcanas.
transfer and move out here,
I
which your parents
was
love.
gonna say I could
In other
actually
words,
take
they got
out like
rid of you for
Terra deck. I
being
haven't
an
double
ass.
checked, but now
It's best you not talk about anything unnecessary. I behave yourself for the year.
technically we don't have
Nothing
a
happens,
death
your
character
probation
anymore
lifted.
because I made my character the protagonist. I kind of don't want her to take up that slot,
Really now? It's
even
the
though
word
it's
that
like,
applies to you.
oh, but in P2 the protagonist had an actual arcana. I don't know about Persona 1 that
Your
much.
sentence cause any
Like, arcana wise, I can pick out some characters.
Shujin Academy, the school you'll be attending. We'll introduce ourselves properly to the staff there.
Unless I'm unless I'm silly, I think we might have every character. Or I think we might have every arcana other than like obviously non. I always forget what the name of the main, like the most popular tarot deck is. But outside of that, I think we have all of them. I'll have to double check. And then we have like a character who's Faith Arcana. But yeah, that makes me wonder. I wonder if anyone else is going to submit a character with like a. I don't want to say non-standard because that sounds weird, but like an like a different dex one. Because I think it'd be cool if we had someone who was Aeon. And I was given the, I would say track record, but there's only 2 other characters that have that. But there was a character that I was tempted to put that as. But then I'm like, I feel like that would kind of be spoilers for a character I'd planned. I say had planned, but he's in the server. Because I had the really cool idea that I think I've only talked about in like the veterans member chat of character linked to the final boss and like the dungeons, because the premise for the server is just set in a small town, there's a forest surrounding it, and I don't remember how many years ago I stated in RP, but it was like, some point in the past, something happened. I'm going to eventually have to get into how the dungeons formed. But something happened and the, going into the forest too deep, takes you to a place that just manifests what you're afraid of. And it's like, there's something in there that's like causing people to want to be drawn to go in there. And it's the closest thing I can say is like, imagine if Tartarus from Persona 3 was just a forest surrounding Port Island or something. And then something, it's like the final boss is feeding off of like the fears of people in the city. And I had the idea of what would I'm like a world-ending boss, like a world-ending entity would probably not have a use for like stupid fears of things. Like, what are you gonna do if, you know, someone's afraid of like cats? What are you gonna do if it's like, oh yeah, I have an irrational fear of like the color pink because I don't know, like I had a aunt who was really into the color pink, but she was a horrible person or something like that. And I'm like, I feel like whatever this entity is would be like, oh well, that's not something I can really exploit. And just kind of like cast those off to the side. And then those, all the fears that this being deems like unfit for exploitation, eventually like, I don't know, gain sentience, become a person, and then that person kind of like, you know, just shows up mysteriously in the city one day, and everyone's like, how'd this guy get here? What's up with that? And he's like, oh, I used to live in Tokyo.
Welcome to my velvet.
That's why I'm not accustomed to this small town. And I like, you ask him like, well, where do you used to live? And he's like, I don't know. Where in Tokyo? Tokyo.
The you in reality is currently fast asleep. You are only experiencing this as a dream. You're in the presence of our master. Stand up straight.
Welcome.
I'm gonna have to think of
This
more
place
little
exists
ideas
between
with that.
dream and
But
reality,
I had the
matter.
neat
It is a
idea
rule that
of
only those who are bound by a
man.
contract may enter. I am
Skip through this. I'm like, man, I think it'd be really cool to have a character that would have a reason to be referential to the other games.
Looks like you're up.
So I'm like, I think it'd be cool if,
Well, then,
in
at the school you're
addition,
attending, it'll take a while. I'll drive.
if this character was aware of like the other plots somehow, other games' plots somehow, at the very least for the modern games, because like I said, I don't know that much about P1, and while I've watched videos on Persona 1 and 2, it's not enough to like know the plot like the back of my hand. And like I've tried emulating both of those games. I couldn't really get into Persona 1, and once I got the hang of it, I got kinda, I don't think kinda far, I don't know. I have no idea how far I am into P2. But I'm kind of stuck on where I'm supposed to be, and also I'm emulating it on my laptop, and that thing does not want to turn on, and I can't be bothered to look into it.
Please keep it. Don't let him cause any trouble
But like, you know, I've
I'll be sure to have a serious.
played Persona 3 a couple of
Come to the
times.
faculty op.
You know,
That's what having a criminal record does.
I feel like other than remembering when party members join, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on like that game's plot.
Turns out your past follows you wherever you go.
I've
By the way,
watched videos of people playing P4, and like I have it on Steam, but again, the laptop stuff. But I am pretty far into that game.
changes, huh?
But like P2, I'm stuck on somewhere, and then I feel like Persona 5 is like a really, I don't want to say basic, but like I feel like in terms of recounting the plot, it's not that hard.
Told that it's for the school.
I would have thought that.
So like,
That's certainly true.
Be careful again.
Well, I keep wishing. Still, that isn't.
if I'm like,
Well, I
if I'm
shouldn't
just having a
have
character like make like tiny little references
The tournament's coming up.
to like stuff that people,
Having such
stuff
high
that normal
expectations
people
placed
wouldn't
on people
know,
have to work on.
Yes.
then that'd be cool.
Why did
Especially so, given that
You're taking the train.
we have a handful of canon characters in there.
The school, I mean.
Because
Now, still, you were expelled. It's not like anyone will.
someone I know submitted Mitsuru, and it's kind of cool because we
I was asked to.
kind of crafted a
I've
connection
already been paid
between
for it too, after all.
her and the protagonist character, which I can't wait for those two to like meet up again.
And now, a subway train.
Cause it's like, oh,
crowded.
you know, given
In fact,
Cheezer's
there was a real
backstory, it
last
was like, hey, what if we made it so that Mitsuru babysat her? And I'm like, that's adorable.
Happened to- If I
Um,
remember right, the girl that
and
passed
then-
away was only 15.
we have someone playing Yu Narukami, and they submitted a Dachi as well, but I saw that they're talking about how they didn't know how they're gonna integrate him. So I kind of want to ask if he's still in the roster, or if they're dropping him, because like it would be kind of funny, like it would be kind of, not funny, I guess it'd be kind of funny, I don't know, but it would be kind of strange to have a character mentioned in the roster and then not have them show up in RP. And then recently, because of talks we had for something about an arc of the game, someone submitted Rise.
A gruesome accident.
And it's funny because
Here's the diary.
I feel like
Besides following the law. However,
not really calling out the people in veteran members chat,
record your daily activities.
but just calling attention to it. But I feel like for like this is a game, we really should be discussing this with people overall in the server. But through a through a kind of funny way of things happening, I was setting up a tupper in a different RP server I made, and it just so happened that one of my Miku tuppers just kind of showed up. I don't remember what her brackets were, but she just appeared because I mistype all the time.
Do whatever you want for the rest of the night.
And then we got the idea of, what if there was one arc that was just a Miku concert? Still have, I'm assuming that, I think that we said it was just going to just be a Miku. Cause I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to say I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a Miku cameo in a mainline game, in like a main game. But it's like, she has a DLC in P4 Dancing. So it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't be, it's like, I both wouldn't be surprised because she's technically showed up in the series before, but I also would because I feel like it'd be very strange, in the context of a normal Persona game. If it's like, I hesitate to say filler, but like, you know, arc of the game where there's no huge plot happening, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're going to a concert, Hatsune Miku. But so they had the idea of Rise coming into play with that arc, which I actually had that idea. Let me see if I can see like exactly what was said with that. Oh my god, I like how I tune back in to the veteran member chat and they're talking about the Miku stuff again. Yeah, so someone else in the server was like, we could pull up P4 and do a band arc, and I was like, adding on to that, Rise cameo. And it kind of went from there. Oh, that's... but I'm really hyped for whenever we get like canon character and OC interaction. Particularly like, this may sound kind of vain, but particularly with like my character, because like it's like, oh, having a Ginza line speedrun, but it's like the Mitsuru connection, and
So, here. What's it?
I think it would be really the whole, because I'm like, oh, it would be really cool if like you and Chizuru meet up, but then it's like,
Don't forget now.
because he's already interacted with one other of my characters. But my whole thing with that is, so the person playing Mitsuru made her just a teacher at the school in this setting. So it's like, oh, it would make sense for, you know, her and the cast to meet up. But I don't know how we could get, like, Chizuru and you meeting up, other than, like, I don't know, same place, same time.
Shibuya. This is Shibuya.
Cause it's like, I don't see why you'd have like a person in their last year of high school hanging out with like a grown man by the time of this RP. Yeah, isn't it like we have to go around? Hold on, wait. It was funny because I was playing this game with my brother. And by with, I mean, I was just backseating. So like, he's played Persona 5 before because like,
did it say it was going to rain today?
When I was doing my first playthrough of the original game,
It's raining outside?
It just started all of a sudden.
he was the one backseating,
This is why
and he's actually the person who defeated the final boss, which is awesome.
one house blend.
The effects of yesterday.
There's been a lot of, you know, I mean the subway.
And
my coworker
it's
got caught up
crazy
in it.
because
He's
I'm
in the
like,
hospital now.
we are on we're on Sizark now.
But that aside, the people who caught, I heard
But
that
you
some
know,
of them
because he's
suffered
got like
from nervous
school
breakdowns
and he's
during
been playing other
interrogation.
games. We haven't really we haven't really picked it up lately. But it's like I hope at some point we get time to continue. Cause like I keep telling him like, oh yeah, I want your. I'm like I want to see his reaction to third semester content because I like it. I'm gonna skip the cutscenes.
What do you want? You planning on?
Of a game like this, even just as like a small time thing, because I don't want to sit through the cutscenes.
Wait, you're from shoot? You messing with me?
I gotta say, I wish there were like better lines. It's like I understand being confused about who Kamoshida is, but like I find it weird that all of the things of like the school you go to, it's like, huh?
You're
That's
wearing
like
shoes and uniform.
it's like, yeah, we're in the uniform. We're literally with Sojiro when we enrolled, and it's like, I feel like there should be an option that's like, yeah.
You This rain ain't too bad. Damn it. I wanna...
But yeah, I feel like I'm glad I had the idea to stream this game with like a specific idea in mind, because I feel like this would be a nightmare to just play like as is, because I'm gonna be like skipping around and like it's like, oh, I've played this, like this intro like first arc of the game so many times that like I'm like, oh, I'm impatient. I want to get to like the idea I have. And I sucks because I want to go back into talking about.
Come on.
But I feel like I don't really have a good place to discuss that. Yeah. What? The internet connection quality is currently not sufficient enough to broadcast gameplay. Well, I should actually have this open on YouTube.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay. Notifying me about moderators.
You alright?
That's like, I don't have a big enough channel to do that. Do I show up in my own? No. I looked at something weird in my notice and I thought I showed up on my own thing. I'm gonna keep the stream up on my phone just so that I can actually see if... Oh, that's weird. I got this, I have one viewer just because I'm looking at myself. Just to see if, like, errors like that pop up. I remember there was one stream I did
Looks like this ain't no...
where... I don't remember which one it was.
Hey!
But I want to say it was like on the video? There's like a black screen that's kept popping up. Like in like the corner or something, and I was like, what is doing that? But it was only a glitch in the actual YouTube stream and not my game.
Come on, man. Hey.
I always forget with this what you're actually supposed to interact with to trigger the stuff that goes forward. Because I don't remember if it was specifically the bars or if you did just have to inspect everything. Played through this sequence more times than I can count and I still don't know.
Where'd your energy from earlier go?
Yeah, I'm gonna skip past the awakening cutscenes. It's like if anyone is watching this because they want like a serious like getting into the plot gameplay, this is not the video. This is just me goofing and seeing if I can do an idea I had.
Kill them.
Persona! There!
I feel like a lot of this at some point is going to be fusion stuff. I guess when I get there that could be the just me yapping about stuff segment. Oh, what? Hello? How do I look at- oh, that's why I look at live chat. What? It's saying that there's... I need to remove that. For some reason it still shows my Twitter in my
What was that?
in the description, but I don't have a Twitter anymore. I like I have my Roblox plugged. Have I ever even streamed me playing a Roblox game? I don't think so. I don't think I ever really figured out how to... Oh no, I guess I do technically have Roblox stuff. It's like one video though. No, I have two? Okay. Wait, why does it show popular videos twice? That's interesting.
Alright.
I need to change up my description. Because for the most part, a lot of my videos... Where did you go for here? Oh. For the most part, a lot of the videos I have is me streaming via PlayStation because I don't know how to do it any other way. I wish this game just let you like record normally and then just like upload it because I feel like it's kind of annoying to stream. Wait, I thought. I wish I could see who the actual viewers were. Does it say I'm streaming on Discord? Via Discord, maybe? No. Oh, you know what? My YouTube is linked. That's probably why.
Oh.
Is this a drawbridge? What do you think it is?
Again. Whoa.
So I did actually mention something in there. I hate that I can't, like, sprint. You know, I just had a weird flashback. That spiral staircase just makes me think of the part in, like, Skyrim.
Hell? Huh?
I feel like I want to, because I really don't do stuff a whole lot, like... Oh, wait, do we have to... Hold on. No, I think we can just go straight to where Morgana is.
Hey.
Yeah. But, you know, I don't have a job, I don't go to school. So, like, I think it would be fun if I just looked at games that I think would be cool to stream that I have on PlayStation. And I need to figure out how to, because I would assume that Xbox also has a way to stream, and I feel like it'd be fairly easy to hook up my YouTube to that.
What do you...
What does it look like?
Because
Try checking.
like I've been saying, I want to do a playthrough, like I'm doing a playthrough now of P3R, but it's just 'cause game. And I had the idea of,
Damn shit. Looks like it's all that.
if I'm not, like, burnt out on it at some point, 'cause, like, I've wanted to just, like, continuously play the game, but I'm like, no, I wouldn't want to do that. Because I feel like if I just, you know, you play a game continuously, you're gonna get burnt out of it. I don't want to do that.
It's a step forward.
Helps to, like...
Another tool for our mission.
Oh, I guess we don't have Dream Needle. But I'm like, oh, that would be fun when I'm finished with the current playthrough to, do a playthrough where it's kind of just like me doing whatever, you know, me doing whatever, maybe like patching up, definitely patching up, like me going through and doing stuff I didn't get a chance to do in this playthrough, because for some reason I feel like there's already been a bunch of social links that I haven't been able to start. Like where I'm at in the game is where you get eggs as a party member, and for some reason I still haven't found out how you start Yukari's social link. And in a lot of these games, I refuse to look up a guide.
This way.
Like, that's why I'm still stuck where I am in P4. 'Cause I'm just against looking up guides for some reason. Blow up the wall?